In the first part of this video series, I went over the different styles of microphones and gave a few different examples on what sources that they would shine the most on. Today, we're going to put some of those microphones to the test on drums, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, and upright piano. For the drum example, I set up two pairs of spaced overheads. I used a pair of Soyuz bomblets for the large diaphragm condenser, and I used a pair of Coles 4038s for the ribbons. I also set up a couple different room microphones. I used a vintage Neumann U67 for a large diaphragm condenser example. I used a vintage AKG D20 for a large diaphragm dynamic example, and a Masanovic Model 2 for a ribbon example. I set up three microphones on the acoustic guitar. I used the vintage U67 again as a large diaphragm condenser example. I used the KM84 as a small diaphragm condenser example, and the Masanovic Model 2 for the ribbon example. On the electric guitar, I used the classic Shure SM57 for a small diaphragm dynamic example. I used a Neumann FET47 for a large diaphragm condenser example, then a vintage KM84 for a small diaphragm condenser example, and the Beyerdynamic M160 for the ribbon example. On the upright piano, I used a pair of Cole 4038s in a spaced pair for the ribbon example. I then used a pair of Soyuz bomblets for the large diaphragm condenser example, and a pair of Sennheiser MD441s for a small diaphragm dynamic example. So now listening through all the examples, you can see that depending on what microphone you choose will have a drastic change on the tone that you're looking for. Since every song and recording session is different, always be sure to experiment with different styles of microphones on different sources. And most importantly, be sure to trust your ears and your instincts to find what tone is the best fit for the song.